absolutely godly.
RK, these drafts are going absolutely insanely fast. So Rona and Celeste are both picked up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see like an Arden focus for either Tribe or Nova. This would be, I would think, ideal for both teams. Tony can be played as a captain or a laner, so he has a decent amount of flexibility, or excuse me, a jungler. He has a decent amount of flexibility, plus a Kestrel. You can put her in the mid lane, most likely. So you have a couple of matchups really being focused on right now. Really, I think it's going to be the roam focus, and then from there, who is your jungler, who are your side laners, and how do these compositions start to round out?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Look, we do have then the Kestrel on the side of Tribe. I think that's going to be played mid lane CP by Old School. I've already had the chance of seeing that in the NACL, and he played that godly. The siege potential of CP Kestrel played by Old School is absolutely huge. So, in my opinion, Tribe is going to be having a CP Kestrel mid. Tony can still be put jungler. Did mention it can go roam. It is an extremely good roam. He has a lot of CC. And then the two next bans on both sides is going to be a Lyra and a Varia ban. So Lyra, one of the best roams so far in 3.1 patch, and Varia in NA is extremely dominant. So I'm not surprised to see those heroes banned. And anyway, for the side of Quetzal Nova, it's going to be a Fortress pick.
Yeah, so Fortress, again, is good. It kind of leans more towards Nova going towards a traditional dive. But if you look at the bans right now, Tribe is kind of worried about Nova going for that all-out siege potential, for essentially using Celeste and just abusing her power and pairing that up with the Lyra to make any sort of dive impossible. So they banned that out. That's what they're worried about. Now Nova, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go basically full dive from here on out. Now Tribe, they have a Samuel, which really implied, especially with what Nova had, that they don't want to put this Kestrel in the mid lane. That Samuel is most likely going to be taking that role against Celeste, and that gives essentially Kestrel one of the better lane matchups. You take that, look at Reza, another incredibly good laner. So you really, I think what right now, your laners for Tribe are going to be your Kestrel, your Samuel, and your Reza, and then they're looking at either a captain or a jungler. Now, on the other side for Nova, they have Arden. They've got they had a decent amount of engagement tools. I'm just looking for them to pick up one more beefy threat to round out their composition.
Just information on the Twitch, I am seeing people commenting. The A side is Tribe. Look, yeah, it just got zoomed out. A side is Tribe, B side is indeed Nova. So just to get you guys corrected on that one. And like, while like on the side of Nova there, they have that Rona and Fortress together. Those are two heroes that have quite a lot of synergy together, not only in the Vainglory lore, but also in terms of gameplay. So they're going to be able to fall onto the side of Tribe and like sustain quite a lot, and also stick to the enemy heroes they're focusing down, and that's going to be extremely effective in this game. We're going to have to see how they're going to be making that one work out. And like, we have now Kestrel, we have Samuel, and we have Reza. I was expecting to have an Old School play CP Kestrel mid, but as we do have then that Reza and Samuel pickup, that would intend Samuel's going mid. We have a CP Kestrel going probably top, even probably weapon if it goes in the bot lane. We're going to see where they decide to play that. And then Reza probably into that top lane position. Like, so far, those three heroes can be a little bit switched between different positions. We're going to have to see where they do decide to play them, but so far, it is a little bit in the fog. But I'd still hope to see a CP Kestrel mid anyways.
Well, I want to see the mid Arden. Now, this is really, I think, Tribe, this is what they're really focusing on. They understand that Nova is most likely going to be going for another dive hero, while Nova has to think, I mean, Tribe has a bit more flexibility, so they can go after a captain, they can go after another laner, and that's exactly what they did. So they take out the Vox, and so these teams are just focusing on what they think the other team's best option is, and I think those are probably the most optimal bans. Now, unless right now Tribe decides to pick up another kind of beef gank, they're going to be decently squishy, which is good for Rona and Fortress, but most likely here, we're just looking for who is the better tank. Grumjaw is an option that I see open, and that's, of course, the pick for Tribe. Well, as the other side for Nova, they're kind of in a weirder spot, because most of the priority dive heroes are gone. Grumjaw was most likely what they were looking at. So now they have some time to think about what else they're going to try to do, how they're going to try and recover things. They also have potential to go for a Gwen pick, something that you see a lot of teams do, especially when you have a decent front line already with Arden, Fortress, and Rona. Just get another backline threat and kind of commit off of that dive. Go for the more poke style compositions, but even then, you have to get into bulk war with the Kestrel and with the Samuel. So they have some options, but they're really going to take their time to think here.
Yeah, they're going to take a bit of time, but like they do have to take a ranged hero, because they have a very good flying. They have the Rona, they have the Fortress, they have the Arden, able to protect the backlane that's going to be composed of the Celeste. The best option there would be, for, like as you did just mention there, to go for a Gwen. She would be quite good to escape from the CC coming out from that Tony with a Skedaddle. Also, like the burst potential, if she's able to dive onto that Kestrel or Samuel, would be extremely powerful in that late game phase. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that picked up. It's going to be a Baptiste last pick. And like, what do you think of that pickup, Tree?
That's quite shocking to me, actually. I mean, he's definitely been a good hero, but I honestly don't know what they're trying to do with him, unless what your goal is to just kind of get him in with the Fortress and pick off someone in specific, make sure that Reza can't get away, Samuel, Kestrel. For the most part, you have a decent amount of targets to use it on, and I can understand its effectiveness, especially if you're worried about another laner. That allows you to put Baptiste most likely in the top lane, let him play a safe matchup, and essentially cruise through the game, get to the point where you're team fighting, where Celeste can come online, where Rona comes online, and you really start snowballing. Whereas on this side for Tribe, I don't necessarily want to say that they have an earlier composition, but Kestrel definitely works a bit faster than Celeste. Reza, same thing. Quetzal, his build is probably the cheapest of any of the tier 1 heroes right now. So I think Tribe's on a bit of a clock, not a huge one, but it's not like the Doomsday clock, but they're on at least a little bit of a clock to get going before Celeste does.
Yeah, that's very true. You're going to have to try and pay attention around that into the game. And like that Baptiste pickup is, what's interesting is normally you pick a Baptiste when you're up against a dive comp like CC, you have the Fearsome Shade, you have the Ordain, able to lock down and completely nullify, if you play properly, a dive comp. Here they got the dive potential coming out from that Fortress with the Truce of the Truce, and then have the Baptiste with a huge CC potential. I think the Baptiste pickup is to go up against that Tony, because Baptiste does quite well up against a Tony in terms of CC potential. And like, also, that means if they're going to be diving on, example, mainly in this game, they're going to try and dive onto Kestrel and Samuel. If they're able to do that, and then the CC coming out of that Baptiste is able to lock down that Samuel Kestrel, then you're just going to have a Rona and a Celeste just able to burst down those two heroes and delete them in a split second. If they play to their win conditions, I'd expect them to go towards that kind of gameplay style in this game. And anyways, we are slowly going to be entering the Sovereign's Rise. And like, after this draft, like, Tree, who do you expect to take the win, Tribe or Nova?
I think it's a tough one. I'm curious. I'm really, really curious as to see how the switch between Max Green and Gabe Vizzle works out. Supposedly they switched lanes, as I've heard. So I think it's going to be Gabe Vizzle in the support role with Max Green in the top lane. But dude, I don't actually know. I have to give it to Tribe simply because you have the ridiculous amount of mechanical skill that Tribe has. I think they can pull it off.
Okay, I like to have a split desk. I'm going to go towards giving it over to Nova, because I do really like that CC and dive comp potential, like that wombo combo. If they can make it work, well, as I was mentioning in the draft session, I think they can pull it off, able to lock down that Kestrel or Samuel and like delete them in a split second. So anyway, we are now into the Sovereign's Rise for this first and only game of the day. As a reminder, this is a BO1 for the North American Champions League. Tell us in chat for who you're rooting for, hashtag Team Tribe or hashtag Team Nova. Let's go with this game.
Hashtag Team Gwen.
Hashtag Team Gwen, hashtag Team Reza, let's go.
Sorry.
Okay. Let's go. Looks like they're looking for very early engagement on the side of Nova. They're going to be sticking together, 4v4 matchup. You have the Rona and the Reza a little bit out of boundaries right now. Just going to be looking to take their own jungle for themselves. Looks like they're not going to try and find any early angle to actually engage this fight. Delphi going to be a little bit caught out, taking a few shots by Tienzio in the face. Not going to be doing much quite yet. I don't think we're going to be having any early fights so far. They're all level 1. They're not going to be doing anything. Just going to try and push this mid lane turret. So, like, interesting to see this.
Yeah, no, it is really interesting. And I like how they're definitely focusing on this mid lane. Look is, old school. Okay, old school backwards. I'm just going to call him Look. He's taking quite a bit of damage already, and Dienzo just really showing how good this Kestrel pick can be when he can put pressure like this.
Dienzo going quite low, and so is Lux. So they're just going to play... have to pay a little bit more defensively. So yeah, by the way, Zio, sorry, I had first kill. I was just going to mention something. Okay, we do have the first kill there, Fortress on Max Green. So that was a very good, nice kill there coming out on the side of Nova. They do have a slow advantage now, going to try and take down. Looks basically old school the other way around is starting all over, and Yo backwards is truth. So we're gonna have to try and like keep track of that. It's a little bit annoying, but anyway, we're gonna have to check it out. So we're just gonna try and avoid that mistake.
All right. I'm sorry. Nova has done this to me too many times. I just have like PTSD trying to figure out all the names. It's very triggering.
Okay, they're going to have very nice taunt there coming out, and he's going to be able to secure another kill, maybe 2 kills. Yes, that's going to be Gabe Fizzle and Old Skill securing 2 kills for Tribe. And so far, they're doing a very nice move, able to secure back those kills they lost in the early phase. 2 minutes in, no gold advantage really. So this game is still can still go either way. It's just the early game phase.
Yeah, no, that was incredibly good from Old School, the OG Old School. He got his Drifting Dark, and this is really where Samuel's shines, is in that early game phase, that level 2, because you use the Drifting Dark, you come out with a ton more damage than anyone had really expected. And on top of that, he's going into a lead versus starting. So starting is quite literally starting all over, having to deal with a much more powerful Old School, going back to this game in the neutral, and Old School, just look at what he's doing now. He's continuing to poke, he can do this basically for the rest of the game.
Look at that damage. You have the taunt there coming out, able to get Eco in that CC. Going to be able to break free of that one just before taking any extra damage. Going to be forced back to base right there. So far, you can see Old School in that mid lane position being absolutely godly, applying a lot of pressure, just forcing people to back out of that mid lane so often. It looks like Lorg is, oh my god, he's going to shoot. He's going to be finished. He's gets CC'd by that A, and now he's going to be going down. Now Delphi, you're going to have to respect the damage coming out of Old School and Game Fizzle. Going to be calling it a day. They're playing so aggressive. It's very interesting. In this bot lane position though, Bradley's trying to push this turret, going to be using a healing flask, trying to avoid the push coming out from Tienzio and I Love Joseph. Still, oh my god, those glimmer shots are doing absolutely awesome work for Tienzio, and just putting Bradley under so much pressure. You have to respect their damage.
Yeah, so this is really where what I was talking about earlier kind of applies, which is Tribe is just definitely better in their individual 1v1 matchups. Old School winning his lane matchup, starting down, Bradley taken down.
Yeah,
it's just brutal.
But that's a Grumshaw played by I Love Joseph even. So like their dive potential, even under turret in the early game phase, they can really make awesome plays. That worked out perfectly right there. Old School in this bot part of the jungle, just a little bit caught out, but not going to be on the side of Nova. They're not going to be looking to go any further, so you're just going to let him slip away. It looks like they're going to be rotating over with Gabe Fizzle just to try and protect that lane matchup. But like Nova are very often for now in the jungle of Tribe, so they're trying to deny completely their jungle farm, and they're doing really good. But Old School able to secure that CP tune for himself, but not going to be able to keep it long enough, as he does go down to the hands of Eco on that Arden.
Yeah, no, that was incredibly good. Just the core collapse there was basically all starting. It let him get the kill. He secured that, and that was just perfect. But as you said, Nova spent a lot of time in the Tribe jungle, and that was the point that I was trying to make, which was, Nova, if you're not going to win the lane matchups, you need to find other ways to get ahead, to get any sort of advantage. And if you can take jungle buffs, especially things like the crystal and weapon buffs, away, it really starts to snowball you into a lead. And despite the fact that right now Tribe has more kills, Nova has a little bit more of a gold advantage.
Yeah, they do have a little bit. Looks like we're going to have another fight to the mid lane. Yeah, just get that trash talk. Does connect with another CC from that third auto attack. And then also into this top of the jungle. And I thought he was going to have a little bit of fight with Max Green there. Just too slippery with that Troublemaker. Going to be able to escape quite easily. And like, so far they're just trying to fight, like they are battling for objectives. They're trying to battle for jungle camps, try and get that gold lead as fast as possible. We're 5 minutes in and not much is actually going on. And in this bot lane, we do have the turret almost going down. You have the siege comp there from the Kestrel doing an absolutely awesome job, and that's going to be the first turret of the game going down for the side of Tribe in that bot lane. Bradley going to be pressurized quite well. You do have the Vanguard coming up from Eco, able to help him out a bit. Does have the stuff probably up in a few seconds. He's still level 5. Is he going to be able to unlock it on time? I do not think so. Bradley going to be able to sustain out of that 3v2 situation. Unfortunately, that's going to be that's the first really fast turret. And look at that. Line of Jovens not done quite yet. Tried to engage onto Bradley. Unfortunately, wasn't able to deal the damage he was expecting, so he's going to back off for the time being.
Yeah, they really do have to back off. Delphi is kind of coming. They do have the health bar advantage, so if Nova really wants to try and turn things, they're going to get deleted echoes so low. But, I mean, this is really just perfect. Tribe taking a couple of minutes to really focus down that turn, and then they make a couple of rotations, and look at top lane rotations too.
Top lane, still a storm coming through. Going to be popping the healing flash just in case for Max Green. Doing a very nice defensive move with that Troublemaker. Now he's a little bit on the 1v2. They're trying to push down this turret, trying to replicate what happened in their own bot lane. Max Green doing a run for it, escaping to the hands of Truth. So that was a very nice move, but a very, very early Ghost Ring just captures on the side of Tribe. This is going to be absolutely game-changing.
Yeah, no, that is actually really good for Tribe. They realize how much pressure they're applying. Even Delphi, he's getting eaten up.
I love Joseph with the stuff on Delphi, and unfortunately he's going to be able to go, he's going to be going down, and EK2, that's going to be a double kill going over to Tienzio with that Kestrel. Very nice move there, and that's going to be the second turret going to Tribe. They was taken one, they did take one on the side of Nova in that top lane, but like 2-to-1 turrets, they're doing really well, and they look like they're not done quite yet. Bradley going extremely low, going to be trying to escape, unfortunately. That's going to be the end with that. I love Joseph Grumshaw. Are they going to be able to push it that second turret? I do not think so, as you do have now starting all over, coming over, able to secure a kill. And now we do have Truth. They're trying to secure a kill on Old School. He's going to try and escape as soon as possible, but the attack of the pack coming out from Fortress, just able to annoy really a lot, and that's going to be another kill secured on Old School. They're doing a very nice comeback so far. Have a little Torment coming out, not going to be doing much, but like 2 kills going over to Nova.
Yeah, no, the 2 kills were incredibly impactful. Looks like this turret should be going down. Bada Boom is down.
Bada Boom did go down. Unfortunately, on Truth didn't do that much. Now you have that red mist going wild. Gaples are going to be forced to use his healing blast right there to try and escape that position. And now that's going to be a turret answered back by Matt Green, taken up in that top lane. He's going to be ganked a little bit by this cautious Arden comp. He's trying to escape, does use that detonator just to try and get out of the grip of Bradley, but unfortunately that's going to be Truth of the two coming out, able to give the extra move speed to Eco and Bradley. The Matt Green unfortunately way too far. Looks like they're going to be calling it a day, and they will indeed. He's going to be able to escape a certain death.
Well, it looks like Starting won't be able to escape that certain death. He's going down himself. Dude, D'Anzio right now is just on fire. You look at a couple of minutes ago, the coordination that he had with the Grump draw. Literally, he was gifted, I believe it was actually Starting. Placed down the active camo, took 2 kills, then they focused at the mid lane turn, and they've been just basically rolling ever since. Right now it's just a back and forth punch of who gets what objectives, who gets what kills, who gets what team fights. We see in the top lane Max Green, or I believe someone's fighting Max Green. Max
Green used the block, used the healing fast, and unfortunately the first splitter will have the last word. He will be going down, giving over another kill to the side of Nova. And in this bot lane, look at that 4-man push on this second turret in the bot lane. DNC are going to extremely low. Are they going to be able to secure the turret? Yes, they will. Now Old School a little bit too low. Going to have to try and get out of the grip of this unstickable Fortress. Unfortunately, Fortress doing way too much damage. Going to be forced to use the block, and that's going to be the end. That's going to be the killing blow. Triple kill going over to this Fortress. He's OP in 3.1, and this is the reason why. Doing an absolutely awesome job. That's going to be 4 kills going over to Nova. Coming back to 10-8 situation with we're 9 minutes in, and they are coming back strong.
Yeah, no, they're coming back incredibly strong. This is just an absolute beauty of a couple of pushes. Delphi has been such a nuisance on the backline for Tribe. He's been able to take basically whatever he wants because he's not noticed, and then he dives in. All the team follows up with him. Starting has just been there, helping support him with the core collapses with a little bit of extra damage, and Lone Delphi just basically the MVP carrying his team right now.
Like, they're doing really well, but look, what I like right now is that Nova is completely answering back to the early pushes, and look at that into this top lane, top part of the jungle. We do have the Oblivion connecting onto Truth, and right there he's going to try and escape. Unfortunately, he's taking way too much damage. Is the sustain going to be enough? No, it will not. That's going to be the end for Truth right there. Going to be going down to the hands of that Grumshaw, and now you do have the Spellfire purchased on starting all over, so it's going to be doing a lot more damage. And oh my god! D'Angelo almost going down. That's going to be the Grimace shots in answer to jab. Oh, the 3-man CC with that taunt. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to secure the kills, but it will be now. That's going to be Truce going down. Jab Bradley trying to do a little bit of a gank on the side. Unfortunately, he's going to be able to do much. I do not think so. But
Shade!
Some Shade coming out, able to get a 3-man CC, able to avoid a certain death. Now they're going to give the extra move speed. It's so hard to get out of the grip of the Fortress. That's going to be a double kill going over to Delphi. Looks like he's going to try and go over to Max Green, but they do not have all the vision onto him. He's going to be able to escape just to his base.
Yeah, no, that was just incredibly close, and that fight basically just went back and forth the entire time. I was really just a fan of how Nova played things. They let Tribe really get towards the middle of things. They backed off, and when they realized that they could re-engage, they couldn't. One shot!
Oh my god, that was stressful.
Ooh, that was incredibly stressful.
I was ready to scream.
I was as well. Like, that was actually so close, and he got an incredibly weird angle so that it wasn't exactly on that typical pass. So Nova, they're really starting to come back. The gold is basically dead even for where we are. We're 11 minutes in the game. A couple of turns have started to go down, but I'm just waiting for that next big team fight. Black Claw could be the next thing that the teams focus their eyes on, or just a couple of four-man pushes.
It's interesting to see how, like, Tribe, they had all the early game for themselves. They took down objectives super fast. They took very early kills for themselves. And right now you have just Nova completely scaling through, and that's the force of Fortress, when he scales a little bit towards the mid/late game, and this is what's happening right now. He just gives extra move speed. He will not get away from those squishy targets he's actually focusing, and that's just giving so much capacity for them to focus them down. And the CC and dive, like, wombo combo on the side of Nova is working extremely well. We do see now Tribe having a little bit of a push potential into this bot lane, trying to take down this choke point turret, and looks like this will be a successful push.
Yeah, no, that was actually a really, really good play. 200 IQ, take this turret and get out, because you don't necessarily want to take this fight. I guess they do.
Want to fight this? Oh my god, they're going in that situation. They are the enemy. Be able to come out of that successful. They are trying to take down that armory. It's going to be quite low. They will be able to secure the first armory on the gate for the side of Tribe. And now Max Green, trying to escape. Unfortunately, that was 3-man down on the side of Tribe. Max Green, he knows his fate. He's going to be using the detonator to try and be sneaky and escape his death. Unfortunately, that will not be enough. That's going to be 4 kills going over to the side of Nova. And they're just showing a very strong performance. But if you see Tribe keeping up those early engages in like those engages in the lanes, they could easily take the game. You see one team kill focus and one team objective focus. This is such a nice match.
Well, you notice here for Tribe, what they've been doing is they've been looking for the ways to find their advantages, whereas Nova's just been countering all of them. They've realized that, okay, hey, we can take a couple of pot shots here or there, or, okay, hey, look, Tribe's coming to go take our turret, let's just take them and wipe them all out. Now, here's the thing, though. If this really is neutral, I think overall, that's an okay push, simply because you were able to get the armory, and by having a constant lane to be pushing, that is a decent worry. And we're getting to a point where the builds start to matter less and less. Now you do have to worry just overall about Celeste getting more items, but you don't, maybe if you can find this 3v5.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of an engagement there. 3v5, if they're able to take this fight, this might be the game for Tribe. To have the Vanguard coming out just to try and save Eco from his fate. Unfortunately, they gave this, was sticking quite around, but going to be calling their day, just going to be backing off. Looks like they don't want to look for the kills. They do now have information on where the Baptiste and the Celeste are, actually. So they're going to be, they might try and look for an engagement, but unfortunately, it looks like they're going to be forced
to trying to stall
away.
This. Starting is on the mid lane, he's focusing on this mid lane turret. This is exactly what I'm saying. Nova's just focusing.
Oh my god, do you have the 2v2 situation? Gabe Visual against an Old School up against Truth and Eco. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end right there for Old School, going down to this Rhino. An absolutely awesome job. Gabe Visual going to be following through. And now you have that 2v3. They're turning this around. Oh my god, Nova, they were such not in the advantage on that engagement. But they take it anyways. That's going to be 3 kills going over to the side of Nova. And looks like they might even look for more. That's going to be a healing flask coming out from Isle of Joseph, followed up with a block. He's going to be able to dash through the wall. Yes, he will, but the turret will find the kill. And that's going to be 4 kills going over to the side of Nova. Oh my Jesus. Max Green do not go down, or that will be the ace.
Yeah, no, that was just a completely dominant performance there from Nova. Not only did they get the fight win, but they simply sent starting all over towards the mid lane. You got a free mid lane turret and an armory. And, you know, as I said, the bottom lane being pushing permanently for Tribe was a good thing. Well, now you're having to deal with the mid lane. If you have a block cloud taken, you kind of escort it down the lane. That is almost a guaranteed game. This is really starting to be basically a game of pressure now for Tribe. Where do they want to put themselves? I want to see them really start to get control of this upper half of the map, really focus around this Black Claw, because if that gets taken down, they're in trouble. At least have some eyes on it. Or focus on a Ghost Wing and use that aid in your fights.
Tribe looks like they're looking for the engagement. Unfortunately, that trash talk did not connect for Gabe Vizzle. Still going to be looking for those angles. One kill coming out. Let's do a little bit of damage on Eco, not that much though, but they're going to be now trying to secure for themselves this Ghost Wing. But that looks like it was just what you call an old C9, where they're trying to secure a kill against an objective, and they're going to do really well. There was a Solar Storm ripping through, was a very nice bada boom. Again, Eco completely out of the fight with the Fist and Shake and a 2-man CC. That's going to be 2 kills going over to this Truth. Playing this Rhino. He's doing an absolutely awesome job trying to get onto Delphi right there. Unfortunately, Old School not going to be finding the angle quite yet, and that's going to be another death. That 3 kills going over to Nova. If they take this fight, Black Claw is now on the rise. I was going to say House in Fall. On the rise. And if they're able to take this next fight and take that objective, it might be game. So we're going to have to try and pay attention to what's going to be going on for the next few minutes.
Right now, Tribe just has absolutely no way to deal with Truth. He's been able to get on the backline and basically use his Red Mist on top of 2, 3, potentially even 4 members at a single time. And he's been just shredding the entire team of Tribe. There's not much they can do.
Yeah. He's quite good on those one-shot one kills. They're actually quite precise, but that's going to be Ghost Ring going over to the side of Nova.
Yeah, it is. Now, I'm curious to see how they use this buff, really where you're trying to put your focus. Do you want another fight, which you know you've historically won, like, nearly every time? Or are you going to go for the Black Claw and use that to just secure your win? I don't know, but right now, a couple of the Nova members are trying to head up towards the top side of the lane. So I think both teams know what's about to happen.
Oh, looks like starting. By the way, you guys, I see some people in the chat. The Celeste is starting all over, and the Truth is the Rona. Just so you guys, if you just arrived, know actually who we are talking about. You do see now Nova trying to stick around and in a team as much as possible. You have this Reza played by Max Green, a little bit out of position, unfortunately, and now it's going to be the engagement. Old School not going to be able to do much, going to be using the block, unfortunately. That's the end for Old School. Getting down in that 5v1 situation, this team couldn't do absolutely anything, and now they are in a 4v5 situation. If they want to take this Black Claw, this will be the time to do so.
Yeah, that's absolutely the time. They got the pick. They put in a gauntlet. They put in an ordained. They basically made sure that there was no possible way that Old School was getting out of that alive. And so now that they have that, they're going to put their sights on that Black Claw. They could potentially just use this for bait, wait for I Love Joseph to try to go in for the engagement and then attack on top of them. That's exactly what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I Love Joseph taking a little bit of hit to the face. Looks like Rona is not going to be letting anything escape. Truth's doing a really nice job. Look at that stutter stepping. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that's going to be normally the end. That's going to be also the Black Claw secured on the side of Nova. Is this going to be the end? I do indeed think so. It's never over. Oh my god! Look at that! Joe's doing the absolute godly move. Able to secure 2 kills in a 1v3 situation. He's going back in. He's not done quite yet. The breaking point stacks up, building up. He's going to try and escape this. Put down that healing blast. Not going to be enough, unfortunately. But it was a very, very nice move. And this Black Claw slowly going to be pushing down this mid lane. Now you grab the Vanguard down onto starting all over. He's going to be able to escape. Oh no, he's going to be taken down there by Max Green. And now look at the stacking up from Gabe Bizzle. Unfortunately, not going to be doing enough CC to help out his ally that just went down that Kestrel. And looks like this will be game for Nova. They have the Black Claw, but HP, you have Bradley, Eco, and Delphi still up and available. And this will be North American Champion League. The winner for today is going to be Nova with a very, very dominant performance.
That was actually ridiculous. Yeah, that is it. Nova, I actually cannot believe it. That was ridiculous. So they really executed well with Lone Delphi, and Truth has to absolutely be the MVP. He has 13 kills. 13! Give him one more kill and he matches the total for Tribe. Like, that's just unheard of. The way that he's playing his Rona is just perfect. Yes, Tribe has a ridiculous amount of true damage, but it just doesn't help you against Dienzio when he's stacking up, he's healing so much. There wasn't much to kill his lifesteal. There was actually, like, literally nothing. So he could just sit there and sustain on top of everyone all the time. I really loved what Truth did. I really found it fantastic, but I mean, this was really all about when Nova, as I said earlier, was when they start to turn it on, when they get the Celeste online, when they get Rona online, and that's exactly what happened. Truth turned it on, flipped the switch, game goes on, and that was just perfectly executed toward the late game for Nova. So GG.
Yeah, like everyone's talking of how OP Fortress is in 3.1. When it's played by a pro, when it's played by Delphi, you do not want to play up against it. It's just so powerful. It will not let the squishy on the enemy side escape. You have then Nerona just coming out, stacking up so effectively, going in a 1v3 situation, pulling it off, coming out with 3 kills on his side, going down unfortunately right after. But still a really nice move. Like, after such a dominant performance coming out in the early game by Tribe, Nova completely flipped around. The tables were flipped, and Nova just done a really nice game. They knew what to do. They knew what to turn. Basically every fight they turned into objective. Every kill they turned it into objective, and that's what we must see. That is high-level play in Vainglory 5v5 on the Sovereign's Rise, and I cannot ask anything more of this game.
Yeah, no, I really can't either. So we only have one game for the night, and this was it. And well, I think we can all tell why. So that was a good game to schedule for the only game tonight. So thank you all very much for coming out to the NACL.